coming up with my first question to you, you are into change management, virtual platforms you have been doing a lot. I am a regular person who views that thing on LinkedIn and everywhere. So how do you identify that an organization needs a change? Or how does you deal with that the needs are there of the change in the organization?
See, change management is something, it's very driven from the management actually. So what are the changes required by any management is what is being looked after by anyone who is trying to make that change in the organization, because it's not only about the management, it's about that employee and employer relationship. So it's a lot of balance that needs to be created. It could be about so many things. It could be starting right from the very grassroots level of having people to change their domains, of having people to upgrading them in different areas of work. Could be so many things, like we are currently the kind of change the organizations are going through, where so many people have been asked to maybe look for alternative professions. So it's not about one thing. In an organization there can be n number of changes an organization can be looking forward to, would be requesting, and a lot of balance has to be created in this, because it's not something which you direct to people. It is something which is kind of a dialogue between the employee and the employer and the middle person who's making that change happen. So it's a lot of training, because you have to align your people, realign your people, the organization, the employees, to the vision, the mission and the values of the company. So they understand what you are talking about. They understand that particular change is for their good. So it's depending on what is required by the management at that point in time, to make sure that what is the vision of the company remains intact and the company still progresses the way it should be doing, because it ultimately the way the company progresses reflects on its employees and the overall environment and the ecosystem of the company. So any change that is made within the organization is for the health of the entire organization. By health of the entire organization, I mean it very much includes all the stakeholders and employees that are part of it, for sure. So these are the things that need to be kept in mind. So it's not one but many. But always remember one thing, it is not something that you impose on people. It is something that you discuss with them, make them understand why that change is good and how it will help them. Give them options, because there is every possibility that with every change there comes some level of resistance, So that has to be kept in mind with the person who initiates. And these change managements, either we have change management professionals who do it, or in few companies, we also have HR professionals who do it, the CHROs who do it, or in many cases people who cannot really afford to have that kind of a manpower to make that change possible, then the management jumps in. But it is very important, whoever is making that happen, to make sure it's a teamwork. It's a teamwork, because any change is not an easy change. It takes time, it takes effort, and you need to be empathetic, which is very important. You need to place yourself in their shoes and then talk about that change, because then you will be able to take a right decision for your employee, for your colleague, So that is very important.
So then my next question will be like that, does the PR skills plays a very vital role in any organization, ma'am?
Oh yes, without a doubt. You have asked a very important question. There is nothing without public relations. I mean, relations, the very word suggests relations. It's about staying connected. I think this is something which is very important. You need to have the right PR policies for your company. That is the mirror of who you are. The way you have your public relations with different entities, it's not only you, also have a PR with your employees, that all your stakeholders, everybody. So that is very important, because that talks about who you are. It's a reflection of what your company wants, your vision, your mission, and your core values of the organization. In fact, PR is not only important for any organization, it is also important at the individual level in your perspective. personal life. So it's as important. So you really cannot skip that. It has to be very very well focused, very well planned, very well strategized. What are the elements you will be focusing on? What are the things you are floating in the market? Because each and everything with respect to, right from the very logo, your logo, the products, the people, the way you are structuring your company, everything you are bringing in focus of the company to follow. You're bringing it in the focus for people to know about you, right? So that goes a very long way. You, with the right PR, you're creating the right brand. You are people who are the face of the PR, your public relations, your association with the people are the brand managers, right? So it has to be very, very, very well strategized, and it is one of the most important things I feel for any company, Yeah.
So what you basically try to tell that for any organization, starting from the logo to the vision and mission makes a lot of difference in how you see the particular product.
Yes, it's not only about the logo. I mean everything, the way you are, maybe the taglines, the color combinations, the way you connect with your people. Public relations is not only about the product management. Public relations is also about the way you manage your people who are on board, your policies, the way you are structuring everything. You are a brand completely. Every single part of your organization should talk about who you are. That is what is very important. And there has to be a certain clarity. There has to be a certain clarity with how you do it. You should actually talk about what are you aiming at, what are the things you are aiming at. There has to be a certain level of emotional connect. So it's not only about logo, it's about many, many, many things. It has to be about your taglines. It has to be about what that product is doing for you in the market, for the people who are using it, for the end consumers. So it's not, and the kind of recall value it brings with it, the kind of loyalty it brings with it. So not one but many things in totality that has to be taken care of. And it is something that doesn't end. Please understand, PR doesn't end. It is an ongoing process. Right? You like a parent and child relationship. Will you ever stop parenting your child? No, you will never stop. Even if your child gets married, gets independent, grows a certain age, even then as a parent you will keep on telling things that they are good for them, right? That is exactly what happens in PR. It is like hand holding your image, and you don't want your image to get spoiled. That is what PR does for you.
Definitely, as a parent, that's the reason I guess some of the people, basically I've seen women who is owning a company or anything, it takes it care as like a baby only. They are constantly and ongoing that what best can be done to my company or my baby, where the baby can grow very healthy in many ways, I guess.
Yeah.
So coming up to the next question, ma'am, which was the toughest task you have come in, all these years, where you think that this was the toughest thing which I have cracked the deal, like your own experience?
I feel I really will not be able to pinpoint at one, but I think all through my career there have been many, not one. There have been many instances, especially whenever there is a hit in the economy. We had 2001, we had 2009, and now also it's all about teamwork. When you have teams involved in your system, then there are challenges that you need to meet, because then you are not only thinking about oneself, you're thinking about many people. At the same time, you're also thinking about the interest of your company. At the same time, you're thinking about yourself. So it's not only about one but many entities that play a role. So there have been many instances where things have been difficult, because it's all about the right coordination. It's all about the right coordination and making sure your team stays with you, holding them together. At the time, I remember 2009 was really bad. I mean, the economy was, so many people were sacked. There was a mass sacking happening, and to be able to tell them to be able to tell them that, hello, it's okay. And you could probably reach out to my friend, you could probably reach out to my reference here and get a job. Or probably you could just helping them out, starting with a startup. And it was, trust me, it was happening at a very, very mass level. So yes, of course there have been so many challenges. And I also feel, being a woman myself, I mean, being a mom, and being a professional all through, and also I have my NGO that I'll take care of, a team, of course, there also. So I think there's a lot of juggling between the resources that happen all the time. You have time, you have family, you have all your other teams to fit your things into, and make sure everything runs. So I think that's very important. So there have been challenges all across, but I also feel it's important to have the right team, and the right team to know what everybody has to do. That is very important in management. Like, there are people who need to know that you are there for support, and they should do what is expected out of them. So when everybody does what they are supposed to do, then challenges, even then the challenges arise, but it gets sorted out very soon. So I think that's the key there.
Right, right, right. As you know, ma'am, that this basically whatever interviews we take is from putting parents and children in our mind, and we normally frame a questions which is more related to parents for career expertise and all that thing. So just to know that what would be the best future job would be, like in marketing or in sales, in HR, which one would be having an high? Right now we know that it's IT is on a high one. Everybody is on a virtual platform for everything. So the industries have gone to the very next level in many ways. So in the nearby future, which market would it be having it as a going for the next level kind of a thing?
See, all. You've asked a very important question. It's a wonderful question there, Nisha. But I must tell you, each and every industry, except of course, we need to, kind of give a little setback that the industry that has faced is the travel industry and the hospitality industry. Other than these, I think every industry is going to be at a major boom, and I think it has everything for everyone. There's something or the other for everyone to cherish, to enjoy, and make sure that they make use of it. Please make use of the current times. I think because of the adversity we are going through right now, this is the right time. Please support one another to flourish. This is the time you can flourish, be it IT, be it HR, be it marketing, be it sales, be it e-commerce, be it startups again, be it anything. Everything is going to has already taken a big time leap and will continue to do so. Just identify what you are really, really good at. Work on that. That is one very major thing, because you wouldn't need to change your domains right now. You may feel that, okay, probably this has been my passion all my life, but I have not been able to do it for whatever reasons. Could be n number of reasons. This is the time when you can actually diverse yourself, make those changes in your career, make a career with what you are really, really good at, because all these industries are really booming right now and will further continue to. Also, you can explore, digital transformation is huge, absolutely humongous. Try and explore possibilities there, because that's going to take a big time leap. The kind of live streaming and OTT and the kind of digital transformation we are seeing right now, there is a huge area coming up where we would need people trained to handle data, cloud computing. We need more and more people. So if you can work in those areas, please go ahead and do it. I mean, the options are endless. And also, I think, those people who want to involve themselves in freelancing, this is your time. This is your time. Go ahead and do it. You get options of not only in one country, but many. So please go ahead and explore yourself. My best wishes.
As you mentioned, we are also not just focusing only on, parents and students or career mentoring only in India, but it's like all over the world. So being in this situation has actually, maybe this is the merit of COVID-19. One merit point, what I see is that you can reach n number of people at one time. So, that's where my second next question actually basically lies. The virtual training. How does that particular thing work, ma'am?
See, virtual training, see, it's all about the mentor, basically. You are the source, you are the knowledge base, you know everything, you know that, the content is with you. So you have worked on it, right? So that's about it. It's just about right deliverance. You should know who your target audience is. Like for example, I train a lot of people virtually, so I know my strengths, so know your strengths. Like my strengths lie in entrepreneurship, networking, negotiations, sales and marketing, startups, then your things like personal development, brand building. So I know what I'm good at it. I have been doing this all my life, so these are my core competencies. When you decide what your core competency is, like if you have been throughout, you have been in child development, or you've been a teacher, you've been a professor, so you know what are your core competencies and target that. Once you know what is your core competencies, then you should go on to your target audience. Who is your target audience? For example, my target audience are, when I'm talking about sales and marketing and negotiations, my target audiences are maybe management students, or students who've just finished their management degree, or students who've just got into entrepreneurship. When I'm talking about life skills or business skills, I'm talking about entrepreneurs who have just kind of not been able to make up in their business or their careers, or people who are about to have a startup. So they are my target audience. So you should know who's your target audience. Once you identify your core competency, your target audience, then you should choose your medium. What medium are you using? Are you comfortable with that medium? Make yourself comfortable with that medium. Fourth very important point is the marketing. Market yourself in that area. If you don't market yourself in that area, you will keep talking, okay, I am good in sales and marketing, I am good in negotiations, I am good in. So what if Archanna is good in marketing? So what if Nisha is good in child development? But you need to market it, right? Make sure you have that channel ready. People should know. Once people know, they will come to you, right? So these are four very, very important things that you need to keep in virtual training. Very, very comfortable. You need to be comfortable. It should be very well planned, very well strategized. And let me tell you, it doesn't end there. It's a process. It's a process, and you need to keep evolving with that process, because every day is going to be a challenge. So you need to strategize, plan, and then execute very well.
Ma'am, as I was going through your profile, I read that the mindful and the balance in life. So,
Yeah.
what exactly that particular thing means, like, and how important is for an individual?
Oh, very important, Nisha. It's one of the most important things in life. If you do not have that thing in your life, nothing works. Literally nothing works. See, mindfulness really means you need to know your why. Please know your why. Why are you doing an XYZ thing? The moment you know your why am I talking to Nisha today? Why is Nisha talking to me today? Why am I doing these power classes? Why is Archanna Garg doing power talks? Why does Archana like to collaborate? What is her why? Once you know your why, you will be very mindful about the people who are associated with you, right? We spoke about change management. You asked me, why is it important and why that change? Because there are so many people involved, right? It's not only about Archana, it's not only about Nisha, it's not only about that company. Similarly, when I am doing something, it's not only about Archana. There are so many people attached with me, right? So when that comes to your mind, when you know your goals, you are very clear about it, then you will be on the right path always. You will stay alert. You will never procrastinate. You will never push things for tomorrow. You will do it there and then, and you will give your heart and soul to do it. You will have that consistency. You will have that research work behind it, because you have given your love and your affection and your time to it. It means a lot to you. That's why you're getting into something. Even in personal relationships, that's what it is. Mindfulness is where you should know what exactly you're doing, and you should know if you don't do it, what will happen. That's very important. If you know you are, you said, okay, fine, I will take a power class, and what if I don't do it? I've made a commitment, right? Today I made a commitment that I must meet Nisha for a Zoom meeting. It's an interview. It's not only important for Nisha, it's also important for me because I've made my commitment.
Correct.
Balance,
So
when we
it's a
talk
give
of
and
balance,
take balance.
yes. It is also, it makes the person you are, Nisha. It's, I mean, like, other than give and take, I feel it's that, you need to be true to yourself. It's about your commitments. It's the person you are. You cannot go back with what you mention, what you say, because that's who you are. Your integrity comes first. What you show to the people, you should be exactly that. And if you can't live up to your words, what's the point? That balance, why balance, we say, see, we, of course, if we are not balanced from inside, like for example, if somebody tells me, oh my god, this is what Archana did, this is what Nisha did, this is what happened, this is what Narendra Modi said, you need to balance it within yourself to be able to soak in, to be able to absorb, to be able to think, respect the words of what the other person are saying, and then reciprocate. That balance is very important in life. When you have that balance in your life, trust me, things don't go wrong. It takes time for you to reach that level because you have a certain level of experience. You need to see life in a certain way. But when you see life from the eyes of other people, it really comes to you even when you are young. Important to stay grounded and stay very close to your roots. It brings you very close to your roots. So that is what balance and mindfulness is all about.
Wow, now that's really beautiful. I'm sure if in future I have a time, I'll definitely get associated to that particular thing for sure. That is needed, as you mentioned. It's a very important thing. My next question is not my question, but I guess my parent made me to, think about it and ask you. I have a child, who has completed risk management course and everything, but he do not want it to do an experience in any small industry or small company. He directly wanted to go on a big companies, and to be precise, he wanted to go in JP Morgan only. I said, what is the reason why you want to go
Your
in
voice is
JP Morgan?
breaking, Nisha. Your voice is breaking.
Hello.
Yeah, you'll have to repeat the question.
Oh, definitely. I have a child whom I'm counseling right now, and he has completed his risk management graduation and everything. But he do not wanted to, work in a small company right now to just gain an experience. He is like, no, I want to work in a big company. I said, see, if you want to go to big company, first you need to have experience at a primary level. But he's like, no, I want to, and he precisely wanted to go for JP Morgan only. He said, no, there is a good exposure, everything is good over there. You must may not be knowing about it. So when I saw your profile, you have worked with fossils, you have worked with Shenaz Hussain and all. So I just wanted to know that, is it so that directly going to the bigger base company or corporate company will help the person to have more exposure rather than working initially at the primary level?
Wonderful question. See, I feel one thing very, very important is that you have to be a very receptive person. Don't stop being a learner, whatever stage you are in, whatever company you join. Be a very receptive person, an observer, and a learner. It's very important. Keep your antennas on. Keep your antennas on. You should be always stay agile and know what's going on within your environment, around your environment, not only in your own country, globally. You should be very aware. One thing. Point number two, which is very, very important for today's generation to understand, is it's not about which company you are joining. I never joined with a very big organization. I joined with a small organization. Trust what you are doing. Trust what you are doing. My very first company, I think we were around 16 people only. 16 people. We were 16 people in the very first organization that I joined. And then the next organization, then things started growing. But I started with a 16 people organization. So you don't you have to be very convinced. You should be very sure of your art. you know Whatever you do, if you're into IT, you are into public speaking, you are into management, you're into marketing, sales, whatever your domain is, please be very sure of what you are getting into. You should know the in and out of your trade, and that you learn through experience. And I would also like to say one thing, it's not about a big company or a small company. Smaller companies, they have their own challenges, and big companies have their own challenges. Now, when you join a small company, let me tell you, they do not have many people to do that task. For example, when in my first company, when I joined, I was everything there. I was also looking after the HR. I was also taking interviews. I was also making presentations. I was also, I had one person who was taking care of stocks. So I also used to, kind of supervise the stocks. I used to do so many things. I was doing everything, literally. I was the one who was taking care of the PR, the media. I was the one who went for training. I went for trainings for the manufacturing of the ball bearings. That the company was into ball bearing manufacturing. So I was sent to Jaipur. Trust me, in that kind of a scenario, when you're doing so many things, you know what happens? The management trusts you a lot. You can really work hard to create that kind of an impact on your management. And when the management sees this person is really sincere, is hardworking and honest, and does the job right, these things are not only important, honesty and hard work, no, but you should also know your work. You should know what you're doing. You should develop that art to do your work right, add value. Then you learn so much because you have learned about all the domains. Just imagine, at that age when I started, I was hardly 20. I learned so much. I learned about marketing. I learned about sales. I learned about what is HR. I learned about so many other things. I learned about the manufacturing of the ball bearings. I learned about how duplicate ball bearings are made. I learned about packaging. I learned about stock management. I learned about trial and error. This thing, your profit and loss statements. I learned so much in that company. I learned my first PR lessons in that company. So when you have a smaller company, you have smaller teams. So one person is required to do more than one jobs. You learn a lot. Secondly, now let's take a comparison of joining a big company. Now, when you join a big company, that is different. You have everything there. You have people who will also help you with the printouts. You just need to give a print command, and there is somebody who's going to get you your printouts, to you. Ma'am, these are your printouts. You will have meeting rooms to take meetings. You will have a separate PR communications. You will have a separate person for marketing. In marketing, you will have 100 people under you, right? So there are different experiences. When I was with Crew Boss, things are very different there. When I was with Chenas, things are very different there. When I was with VLCC in Dubai, things are very different there. RKG is very different. So, with the way the company grows, how closely you're associated with the management is, that distance is there, right? You have more reporting managers, right? So how you prove yourself, how do you reach that ladder to reach your management is again different, right?
Correct.
So you will take, if with Arihant, I was with the management, directly reporting to management. Shehnaz, again, I was directly reporting to management. Crew Boss, again, I was directly reporting to management. But as the company keeps growing, you have different managers you need to report to, right? Like with VLCC, between the management, between the Vandana Luthra and me, I had one person. I had the CEO, of the company, right? So these things you need to know, you need to understand. You definitely need to work really hard to prove your mettle. So there are advantages of joining small. There are advantages of joining in big companies. You have great mentors. Things have changed a lot over the years. Yes. So, it's just about, and if he's really, really hell-bent on joining with JP Morgan, there are so many internships happening today. He can definitely apply for one. And if he gets a chance, why not? Let him. That means this boy is really confident about what he can do for JP Morgan, right? Or for any company. Let's not take names. Any company. If he's that confident, Let him go ahead and let him try. It's just about what you can do. That was my choice to start that ways. Each industry have their own pluses and minuses, their own pros and cons. So let him give it a try. Why not? I'm completely for it. If he's so convinced about his work, please let him go and give it a try.